I'm Survi, your host for the day, and I welcome you all to the 8th Foundation Day of East Corp Group. Well, I would like to share a beautiful Ramayana story with all of you. As you know, Rama and his team of monkeys were at war with Ravana, and the monkeys were helping Rama build a bridge over the sea. So they would carry huge rocks to try to build this bridge. In between this chaos, there was a small, cute little squirrel who would choose and take the pebbles and keep them in between the rocks. Looking at this, one of the monkeys had a big laugh. And he asked the squirrel, "Well, what are you doing here?" The squirrel replied, "I'm just trying to help Rama build this bridge." He had a bigger laugh after hearing this. He said, "You little thing, how are you going to help us build a bridge? We have this huge team, this army of monkeys who are good enough to do the job." Looking at this, Rama came near and this is what he said to them. "Well, whatever you're doing is good enough. But this squirrel is placing these pebbles in between the rocks and filling the gaps. The sand that he's carrying is actually helping make the bridge more concrete." So, the moral of the story is that no task and service to Sri Rama, however small, is unimportant. Every task should be looked upon as service to the Lord, and His blessings will always be with us. We should never forget that love and dedication is what matters to Lord Rama, and not the big services and show we make for our prestige. Similarly, one company can't change the world to bring the safety, but whoever we work and associate with, we impact their world of safety. This is the philosophy East Corp Group has in serving the nation, and here is the man behind East Corp. Please put your hands together for Mr. Hemant Khadse. So, welcome, sir. So, as you know, we're going to start our today's event by inauguration of our Pune office, and it's a big milestone for the company. And we are privileged enough to have with us Dr. D.K. Shami, who's Director General of Fire Services, Government of India, Home Ministry, and also the Director of NFSC Nagpur. Can we have the AV, please?
Good morning, dear friends. I am happy to learn that today East Corp Group is celebrating its 8th Foundation Day under the leadership of Shri Hemant Khadse ji. I am happy to announce that today they are opening their office in Pune. Congratulations to Mr. Hemant Khadse ji and his vibrant team. Dear friends, this group is engaged in fire safety, security with a high professional skill and commitment. I wish them all the success in all their future endeavor. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
So let's begin with our interesting conversation for the day. Today is the 8th Foundation Day of East Corp. How excited are you for this day?
Survi, good morning to all the audience here today for taking their time out on the weekend. But I can tell you, believe me, this is an unbelievable moment for me and the entire team today. I never thought that we are going to have an event like this on our 8th Foundation Day, virtual online, talking to all people around our community, and have that connection today through this forum, and having you, a celebrity anchor, today with us. It's a great moment of joy for all of us. So when you're in emotions specifically, I know for sure that the reality comes when you're on high level or on low level of emotions. So today, definitely we are on a high level of emotions, and that doesn't mean an external spirit. It's our internal spirit that actually is making us to happy and excited to be here. Get that connection with our community so that they know the other side of our coin, or probably there are many untold stories that they never got a chance to hear from us, because when we on our day-to-day life meet people, our customers, our stakeholders, we always have a transactional discussions. But then this is a moment, or this is a forum that I want to have, or opportunity I want to have, where we would express our vision, purpose, passion that we carry, and that's the whole saga of this event all about. So we are truly excited, and I'm sure a lot of people today here are going to be excited as well after
I'm sure,
hearing this.
sure.
Yeah.
So we are definitely going to hear some very interesting stories today, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so sir, you started the East Corp in 2013 after 20 years of working in corporate job. I'm sure it must be a difficult decision for yourself and for your family to switch from a corporate job to your organization. If you could tell us more about the switch, please.
Very interesting question, Surbhi, but I can tell you, I can recall those days in 2013 when decided to be on our own, and that too after living a very fabulous job that I was
Stable
having.
job, yeah.
Absolutely, and then a corporate job, a respected job in the industry. So many people actually pulled me around. They said, "Why are you taking this decision when you are doing so well in the company that you are working, and that you are more or less established in the company? Why did you want to leave this company and start your own? It's not a right opportunity, right market." And at that time, it was a recession kind of a thing. But then I was determined, and not that I was determined to copy someone or follow someone to start our own. It was my own internal motivation or inspiration that I had, and it was going on since last about 2 years back. So things were very, very clear for me. Why do you want to start? What do you want to start? My website was ready. My plan was ready. Everything was ready before I actually kick off. So it was a very, very hard decision for me. But I really thank Almighty, the universe, who actually supported me. My family, my wife, my kids, my sister, my brother, mainly my parents, who actually are my internal force, and that is how entire universe actually transpired me to be here today, what we are doing today. So it was a hard decision, but I think it paid me off.
You know, whenever you're starting a business or you're trying to do something different from what a usual person does, there's a lot of risk involved in making that decision. So did you feel that you were risking a lot for you to follow your passion?
Absolutely, absolutely. As I mentioned, that risk is always there, and if you look at the natural human element or a life, you always remain in the risk, and without risk there is no life. So if you know that the side of the nature or the human life that has been given to you, you have to see how resilient you are.
Correct.
How are you to mitigate that risk, or how you manage that risk in any other manner or any other form. So risk was always there. Even today we are having that risk as well. When you are looking at the business, we want to scale it up at the level where we will be. But then just because my conviction, my clarity, my spirituality was very strong than the risk, I think I could overcome all the challenges, and that's the reason I don't look at that as a risk. I look at it as an opportunity.
You know, sometimes what the world has to say about our decisions still doesn't matter to large extent, but what really matters is what is the reaction of our family, or what do they feel about our decision. So what do you think? What was the reaction of ma'am when you went ahead and told her that, hey, I'm quitting my job and I'm starting this company with huge risk? What do you have to say about that?
Absolutely. Fortunately, I have a very fantastic, supportive family, and my life is extremely opposite. She is extremely cool. So as I'm a little hot temper or short temper, you can say. But then when the decision was communicated formally to them, they were also supportive. They said, "Go ahead and do it. We are there with you." And I can tell you, fortunately,
That support plays a huge role when you're taking such a huge risk.
absolutely. I mean, fortunately, I can tell you, Ashita is here listening to me. I never had that kind of a pressure that I had to compromise on any kind of a schedule, work, or priorities, because she is there always to support me, to manage family, kids, and I've been always during my employee career as well when I worked various companies. I had the same level of working spirit. Although I was an employee, but my spirit was always an entrepreneur. So I've been always on mute, and they supported me, and I'm really thankful to everyone here on this occasion that because of their support, I could do what I am to do.
Correct, correct. So there's a song in Bengali, Tum Ekla Chalo Re.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure when you started this journey, you started all alone. But like a leader, once you become a leader, you automatically have people following you. So you started this journey all alone by yourself, only with the support of your family and the spirit of you trying to follow your passion. But today you are a team of 15 people. How has this journey been going?
Fantastic, great question, Surbhi. And I have been always sharing my thoughts to internally my team that although it's now 8 years journey, we may have long journey ahead. But any company for that matter is not built by a person. It is always by the people around you. So we develop this organization brick by brick, but every person in this organization, right from my office boys till my level, everyone has contributed. And as you rightly started the story of Spiral of Ramayana, that is how the journey actually is all about. And of course, on this forum, I can always have that feeling of gratitude towards nature, gratitude towards family, at the same time, gratitude towards my team, who have been always been supportive, been always been behind me as a rock, solid support. And I don't think so without their dedication, commitment, support, we would not build this organization the way we want. So today we are here with a proud feeling that we have a strong team, and I'm sure with their commitment we will be doing a very excellent role in your future.
When you start a corporate journey with a team, you start as a team, but you end up being a family because you spend so much time together. You support each other in multiple ways. And today when I saw everybody in the office, I could see the bond that they carry with each other. So we must give them also an opportunity to say something that they have to. So let's hear it from our very own East Corp team.
Great.
First of all,
I would love to hear their voices.
East Corp Group team and Hemant sir for successfully completing 8 years in the industry. I'm with the ECG for 3 years, working as finance
Just
manager.
like everybody is hearing voice.
Here I have got a lot of opportunities to grow not only in my field but also in HR and admin with the help of Hemant sir and Kapila ma'am. The best part, what I liked about working here is that the environment, the atmosphere is very cool, it's very flexible and open. And while working with Hemant sir, there are 3 things which I want to adapt in my working style. One is this positivity. At the time of pandemic, every business was trying to sustain in the industry, but Hemant sir has other vision. He wanted to grow, he wanted to expand, grow, and not only the company but also the team. He was encouraging us to encourage us to grow in our skills and other developments. And the second is his multitasking, and third is his planning. How he set goals for the future, and I have seen how that goals we are achieving, and even he encourages the team to set goals, and not only he helps us in setting goals, but he also provides directions and guides us in achieving all the goals. Working in ACG till now is wonderful, and I would like to wish Hemant sir and East Corp team best of luck. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Vidya Pawar. I am working here for over 3 years as a security designer. Congratulations to ISCOP Group team for successful working 8 years. I have amazing working experience here. Thanks to Hemant sir for giving me this opportunity, and I wish to company grow day by day. Thanks.
Hi everyone, my name is Chinmay Padge. I am a mechanical engineer and I am working here as an application engineer. First off, I like to congratulate East Corp Group family on the 8th Foundation Day of East Corp Group. To talk about the East Corp Group family, we have a nice and supporting team. In my journey in East Corp Group team, they help me to learn and grow as a professional. If you have any kind of a problem or query, they will guide me to solve the problem. We have small team and we are well connected to each other. If you take an last year example, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we have to work from home, but we all take the situation in positive way, and we learn and polish our skills to be ready for the next year challenges. To talk about the team, that will include our CEO Hemant Karsechi. He is not just a leader; he is also a mentor, and he always guide us in right direction. I would like to thank who helped me in this journey, and again congratulations to family and best wishes. Thank you.
It is a great news that ECG now celebrating 8th anniversary, and in pandemic also ECG we executed some good projects. That means it's showing it that how we are good in the market. That is also great goes to the our group CEO Mr. Khatse. And myself, this is Kiran, associated with ISCOP Group last 3 years onwards in fire and security demand as a design manager. And this opportunity given by Mr. Khatse sir, is I think really happy that I'm working under him. And I need to tell a few things regarding the Khatse sir. Most of the CEOs, most of them, they have the tag that they are the higher authorities. They may not allow the senior engineer, they may not discuss with them friendly. But in my organization, it's completely different. My CEO will always talk to each and every employee and coordinating with them, everything. And one more thing, when we are knocking his door with any issues, he never say no, he never hesitate. He always be supportive, give a guidance to and how to take up that. So I learned a lot of things from Khatse in last year. It's a great news for me that be working under him. Thanks sir, thanks again, and thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Ritul Ambedkar and I have been associated with East Corp Group as an application engineer. First of all, a hearty congratulations to Hemant sir and all of his East Corp Group team. Thus far it has been an amazing journey learning with everyone else, and first of all the team spirit over here is so amazing that it has no bounds that I can express. So first again a hearty congratulations for completing 8 years, and there are many more years to go. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Sushant Tuman from Pune. I've been associated with East Corp Group since long time as a safety engineer. Firstly, I want to congratulate Mr. Hemant sir on this big day. I want to share one thing about East Corp Group which I like the most, that the team players. East Corp Group always treated us like family. He never treated us like employees. That I like the most about East Corp Group. And lastly, I wish all the luck to my family, and thank you for having me.
Hello everyone, my name is Jen. I just joined here a few days ago as a senior craftsman. Whatever I experienced in last few days, found good working atmosphere and teammates as well, and would like to contribute more for the future of company and colleagues as well. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ritesh Ghosre. I am fire engineer from National Fire Service College, Nagpur. Currently working with East Crop Group associated in Pune region. I first want to congratulate Mr. Hemant sir and East Crop Group members. This is the big occasion of 8th Foundation Day anniversary. As the member of the East Crop Group, I am feeling so proud to work within such a prestigious organization where I am getting good exposure and good experience at limited time of span. This is possible because of Hemant sir and East Crop Group who are always supporting us. The main motto of our East Crop Group is to protect life, to protect property, to protect our environment. And we are always happy to serve our nation. Thank you.
Wow, great. Thank you, team. Thank you. It was lovely to hear from them.
So, what is your reaction? What would you like to say after hearing all this?
I mean, I can tell you, it's a really proud feeling that I have today. This is the first time that kind of an event happening where they also get a voice of the community, because it's hardly that they get an opportunity to face people, or some of them will never get an opportunity to face people. So after hearing them, I think it's all coming from their heart, and it's a really inspiration for me. And as I mentioned to you, when I started, I had a choice to start this organization operating from home, individualistics, and I could have made probably better money having that model. But then my intention was not that I want to start alone. It's a team, it's a united work, and that is how the team gets developed. I'm sure it is not my decision to get them here. It's a universe call that they are all attached with me, and I'm sure I'll be able to add value to everybody's life as long as they are with us.
Well, hearing from them, it clearly shows that you've given them that comfort, not just as a team, but also they are a part of your family literally. So what kind of a boss have you been with them?
Good. In fact, I'm a task master, I would say. I also work very hard. At the same time, I also get the work done. So at times, many people find it kind of a military discipline organization, but that's how I have developed this from day one. We have been always communicating formally, informally, having the review meetings, having the formal communication. So it's all system-driven company that we have set. So it's a hard for many people who are not exposed or experienced to that kind of an environment. But since I have created that culture as a discipline, because without discipline you will not be able to achieve the goals. So if you have to have that goals achieved, you need to have a discipline. So it's a very, very disciplined culture that I have created. I am not a fiery boss, definitely for sure, but I don't compromise on shortcuts. So I think people are happy, although at the back end sometimes people might give around that is too harsh, too hard, but that's how I think at the end of the day, they know my intention, my purpose, and the objective of getting that work done.
When you're working with a corporate firm, you're usually very, comfortable taking orders because they are the ones making the directions and you're just like following the instructions. But here, when you switched, you started your own firm, and people have this notion that, oh, he's the boss. What does he have to do? We are the ones who have to work hard. But actually, a lot of discipline has to happen from boss end for those things to accomplish. So how did you manage that switch?
It's great question. I would say it's a tough situation for any person to do as a leader.
Correct.
It's not that easy task because leadership is not something about carrying a label or a designation that you are a CEO.
So this discipline that you're talking about, was it always your thing, or is it because now you have to kind of take over and lead the way? That is why you had to be more disciplined to get things right.
In fact, I don't carry that label as there is no change for me. I've been always interacting with the people. How can I add value to their life? How can I impact their life? How can I influence their life? And that's the motive, clear motive. So leadership comes from those sentiment or thought. How can you add value? Because it doesn't come with a designation or label or any authority. It has to be earned. It cannot be demanded. So it's a process, it's a journey. But I think over the period of years, I've been not having any kind of a challenge in interacting or creating that culture in the organization that people, when they look at me, they look at that person is among the top. Whatever we discuss, I talk to them, I deliver. So it's come from them that a person is not something that authoritative or just telling them about it. He is actually included in the whole process.
Plus, the intention also matters. They know your intention. Sometimes people be very bossy because their intention is just to show off that I'm the boss. It comes from, it's an ego-driven thing. Exactly. But when the intent of doing that is based on what you said, you want to add value to people's life, you want to do better for the entire team. So this is something maybe your team catches, and that's why they don't have a problem with you being so disciplined with them. So that's a beautiful thought that you shared with us. Moving on to the next question, behind every successful organization, there's a struggle story. So it would be great if you could share your struggle story on your individual front and on your company front. That would inspire me and everybody who's watching us right now.
I mean, I probably need a day to talk about all this because every day I have a story to attach, good or bad, whatever it is. But interestingly, struggle has been there with me. It's a God gift from day one. Although I started my career in 1994 as a training engineer with a 1,500 rupees salary in Mumbai, struggle started from there. And that's how it's my DNA. And at times I get frustrated, but when I take a pause, I always see that there is a motive behind this struggle.
Correct. I mean, I can so relate to this. I mean, earlier I used to, like, every profession, every industry has their own challenges. Every person goes through their own challenges. And in the beginning years of my life, I used to be very frustrated about this struggle. But slowly, after every struggle, I realized, oh, this made me grow. And since then, my fear with struggle has stopped, because if you're not struggling, you're not growing. If you're in a comfortable space, which means you're not growing, you're just stagnant there. So I can so relate to this.
Absolutely. So that's what I think. For me also, people talk about work-life balance. For me, work-life is one. That's what even.
This is a very interesting topic that you've initiated, and I'd love to hear more about what is your thought on what is work-life balance for Hemant sir.
Yeah, I mean, initially I was also trapped in the theories of you should have a work-life balance. Then over the period of, because I'm a spiritual person by nature, it's not that I do only bhakti, meditation, but then spirituality is something different means to me. And those periods gave me an insight saying that work life is not something different.
Correct.
It's all mindset that you carry along, that it's a stress or it's no stress. It's a risk or a no risk. It's a struggle or a no struggle. So when your mindset is clear and you have that spiritual strength in you, whatever you do is basically your life. There is nothing different that you do today and tomorrow or whatever it is. So for me, I've been, over the period of years, I've been decided, or I've been into that theme of mode that work is my life.
But I think this also depends on if you're following your passion. If you're doing something just for the heck of doing it, and you're doing something because you love doing it, which is also the theme of our today's event, which is profession, passion, and purpose. We're getting so many inquiries about, trying to understand what this is. It would be great since we are on the topic.
Yes.
If you could relate this.
Interesting. In fact, a lot of people, as you said, rightly got a call saying that I heard about your teaser, profession, passion, purpose. What is this all about? Are you into spiritual or what is it all about? It's all curiosity. So, idea is that this is what exactly the thing that I've been following. If you look at the theory, what theory says that first you start a profession, then find the passion in it, and automatically it becomes a profession. But I little diverse or having a little different opinion on this theory. What I follow in the modern world, which is probably relevant for most of the people, that first and foremost you need to find a passion. Because unless until you find a passion you're liking, you're not going to get that attachment to the profession that you are working on. So do what you love and love what you do. And exactly today, if you ask a retired person also that what is your passion, you look at here and there and maybe say that no, I had a passion of music, but I never got an opportunity. So at the age of 70 or 65, to recall your passion, which you never implemented, that is a life gone. So it's important that you need to look for what is your passion, what is your liking. And of course, there is Ikigai training, which we can talk in detail. But unless until you look at your true calling, you're not going to connect that profession. And profession you do in a such a way that ultimately gives you a purpose of your life. And finding a purpose in your life is itself a journey. It takes years. It takes long time to go through that process of understanding what is your purpose behind God sending you on this universe of doing what you're doing. Today, look at me, I'm doing a fire profession, which is probably somewhere God wished that I wanted to contribute in a way that I want to create some society for a safe and secure people, right? So unless until I have that connect, I'm not going to get connection with my profession that I'm doing. So in my theory, the first is passion, then the profession and the purpose. And once you know the purpose, then profession doesn't become a label. Automatically what you are doing, it just goes. So that is how I thought that I showcase this thing today in the entire community. And today the profession, fortunately, we are in fire and security, which is nothing but safe and secure places. So I think the profession that we are doing, it's a noble profession. I love that profession, and same goes with my team, that they also have that process of passion, profession, and purpose.
Thank you so much for answering that question. So now, after hearing our team, it's time to hear from our esteemed customers. So now it gives me immense pleasure to present to all of you the voices of our esteemed customers and their wishers who are now a part of East Quad community.
Wow.
I really thank Mr. Hemant Kharse for giving me opportunity and inviting me for I wish East Corp a very warm progress in future. They are doing wonderful job by creating awareness and imparting training at various level, and for industry, for the different types of occupancies, hospitals, hotel industry, industrial areas. They are doing wonderful job by creating awareness and implementing the minimum fire protection requirement as per the National Building Code and the Fire Act, Maharashtra Fire Act. As you know that the fire services gap of fire services is very huge. We cannot reach to each and every occupancy in the city or the country. So to bridge this kind of a gap, we need various types of stakeholders involvement for creating awareness and ensuring the minimum fire safety at the occupancy level. And this job is done by the East Corp very well. And they have arranged various, during COVID period also, they have arranged different training programs on different aspects of fire and life safety. I wish them very well progress in such kind of event in future. and this will definitely help our society to create awareness and ensuring the life safety and property of the occupants. Thank you very much.
I wish best of luck to East Corp Group Corporation on its 8th Foundation Day. This is really a good thing that the East Corp Group is having its 8th Foundation Day and they are celebrating it. This is the need of the hour. People like Khadse, they are into the field and giving their best to the community. I wish all the best to East Corp Group. Thank you very much.
Hi Hemant and everybody which is watching. It's a very celebrating day for all of us, for our existence as a company. I joined, actually Hemant joined me and we established this group 8 years ago, Hemant? 8 years ago. But me and Hemant, we start working earlier in India, in the times that I used to live in New Delhi, not in Mumbai. Don't be insulted, I prefer Delhi, but that's okay. And I'm very glad that we are doing a lot of work together, and I'm bringing my Israeli and international experience to the group in the field of technology, risk assessment, and of course, dozens of projects in the entire fields that the company is dealing with. What can I say? I wish Hemant, myself, and all the associated partners to continue in full gear now after the 1.5 years of the coronavirus that sent us for, unfortunately, not to do almost nothing, but we are full of energy and we are willingly and working towards a better future. So a lot of thanks to everybody and see you later. Thank you.
Namaste. I'm happy to join the 8th Foundation Day celebrations of East Corp. My best wishes to my friend for many years and the life safety crusader Hemant Khadse. He has been sincerely conducting audits and correcting the fire and life safety systems for many of his clients. Please continue the great work and keep us all safe and secure.
Hello friends, my name is Rajesh Shirke. I am a certified safety professional. I want to wish Mr. Hemant Khadse and his team from East Corp a successful 8 years for completing in this field, and I'm sure that in the coming years they are going to do an excellent job. I know Mr. Khadse from quite a few years because we have worked together on few projects, and I can tell you that Mr. Hemant and his team are thorough professionals. I really enjoyed working with them. Apart from being a thorough professional, Mr. Hemant is also a very nice human being. He always go out of way to help his friends and colleagues whenever they are in need of help. So all the best, and your team from East Corp for completing successful 8 years. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Congratulations Hemantji and Harshita on completing 8 years of the wonderful journey which you have started. This is just not the foundation day of your company, but It is the foundation day of the daring decision which you both took to be an entrepreneur. The foundation day of choosing the tough path towards achieving your vision. The approach and objective of your company, objective regarding lives and not just delivering services and product, is highly appreciable. And due to your passion and hard work, you have achieved and shall keep achieving greater heights of success. Best luck for your future venture and wish many more years of joyful journey. Once again, congrats Hemant Ji and Harshita.
Thank you so much. It is so inspiring and grateful to have you all, customer, stakeholders, associates, family, friends. I really apologize for many people here because we could not accommodate due to the time constraint on the videos, but I'm sure everybody's blessings is here. They are watching, and those who are not still watching, they are still with us. And it is like a pushpa varsha for me. I would say each blessings counts me a lot, means me a lot. So it is really great feeling that today that I have or everybody has in our family to have voices from all the people. Great.
Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, COVID has been a challenging phase for every business, and you've been so busy last few months handling these challenges. It would be great if you could share what challenges you faced and how did you overcome this phase?
I think great question again. Specifically, when the COVID started, March 2020, I remember I was actually traveling to Gaya just the day before when the Janata Curfew was launched by our Prime Minister. So technically, I was on move till last day of our COVID started formally in India. But for me, if you ask me, this phase was the best phase for me in the entire tenure that I had so far. It was a meaningful pause, I would say, that nature had given to everyone, including me. And as you said rightly, I was more busier than my business as usual days prior to COVID. Because so much of thing was going on in my mind that what can I do better in my life? How can I?
The whole definition of safety completely changed.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, so many things were transpired, and that season we initiated the Vil Bharat initiative, which was a 26-week every Sunday webinar series that we launched last year. It was great success in terms of connecting the people, sharing our experience, knowledge, information. So, in all the possibilities, I would say COVID was not at all a bottleneck for me to do the business for. And I'm sure that's also when your purpose is clear, universe conspires. That's how it is there. We had a lot of opportunities just came in because we were in COVID, and we could fulfill those commitments just because we were under these conditions or constraints. So this COVID phase was not a bottleneck for me. It was a meaningful pause, and we used that in a big way. And both talking to internal team, building our team, building that systems, processes. So that gives me an opportunity to interact with more, create that bond with the people, because had it been no COVID scenario, we could not have that opportunity to work together so closely what we got as opportunity in COVID. Plus, we launched this Vil Bharat initiative every Sunday. That was a 26-week long webinar series that we run through. It was also a great opportunity to interact, connect with the customers, sharing our knowledge, experiences, stories. So I think in all our probabilities, we had a good time. We were busier than the prior to COVID scenarios, and it was a meaningful pause, as I mentioned. It was for me an internal transformative experience. It gives me a lot of strength. How we can be resilient? How can you become more prepared for any kind of an eventuality that can happen? So
the reaction of most people when this happened was, otherwise everybody used to complain, we don't have time, we're always busy. But now when nature gave us that pause, the reaction was clear.
Absolutely.
So when all of a sudden, like you said, you're so disciplined, you're so vision-oriented person, and all of a sudden you have to stop. It only takes a very strong leader to understand this, that if you're not working, you're working on yourself.
Yeah.
So did it like instantly come to you, this thought, or did it take some time for you to accept that now we're going to have a small break before we actually continue with the business?
No, actually, it didn't took much time to understand or realize this gap or situation. We were anticipating in advance what could be the situation, and through our team calls, we have already cleared that motives, what we are going to do, how we are going to prepare. I mean, at that time, I remember we had no clarity clue how long this one is going to be there, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. But I remember during our team call, I said, let us plan for a year. Let us invest this 2020 for our internal own learnings. Let us sharpen our pencils so that we are ready for next war. This kind of a preparation.
And did your team support you well during this, and how did you handle your team? Because they must be going through their own stress of insecurity, whether we're going to have this job or we're going to lose it, what if the company shuts down, and all those kinds of fear-oriented thoughts. How did you like to motivate them and keep them updated?
And that's how the leadership quality matters, and that is how it was a challenge for me also to retain them.
Correct.
To motivate them, and that too from a work from home culture, which was not that common for most of the people in our team.
Correct.
Although for me it was a long time story, because when I got an opportunity to work with Honeywell in 2004, I had an office working from home. So I had a business card with my home address. So WFH, work from home culture, was already there in my blood. But for a team, it was a totally new experience, and get them on board, get them engaged, get them connected on the same page was a difficult task. But I think most of us, I would say, supported. They understood our sentiment and where we are coming from. Some of them were not willing to come to the level. They dropped down, so we said thank you very much. But then we didn't have any kind of a scenario where we have to delay a salary. We had some deductions, but at the same time, we didn't have that kind of a scenario where we had to delay the salary. We had the same cycle of payment. We didn't have any kind of a issue where we had to face any loan liabilities, and that kind of financial stress we didn't have at all. And again, thanks to
which means a lot of planning must have gone even before this crisis must have happened for this to continue on the road.
Absolutely. And again, it comes from our profession that we are in. We are all about emergency preparedness profession. So when we are talking organization to plan for your emergencies, how planned are we internally to delegate this any kind of crisis that may happen? So business continuity, what we teach, we start from here. So that's how we planned, we allocated, arrange our resources in a way that we are capable and have that resilience power to mitigate that risk that we had. So it was a great experience. It was challenging, but I think we all overcome that.
So today we have with us so many people who are watching us today right now, who are from your industry and who must have faced similar crises during these challenging times. What is the message you'd like to give them as to how can they prepare themselves for a situation like this?
I wanted to give this opportunity to express my thoughts here, saying that COVID has actually gave a lot of insight and message to every organization that we are in. I don't want to speak about it, I don't want to talk about negative about it, but I think if you take positive side of it, this moment actually gives us an opportunity to learn, relearn, and unlearn. Because you can keep learning, but if you don't unlearn or relearn, then you're not going to digest that. So I think the first and foremost
updating yourself with time.
Exactly. And these three things are very, very important. Learn, relearn, and unlearn. That's the first thing. Second thing, always have a gratitude. Gratitude towards the universe, towards your ecosystems, the stakeholders that you are in, your family, your entire community that you are in. So gratitude actually gives you a kind of a true spirit internally. It gives you the respect. It gives you that strength to become more resilient. And that ego that you mentioned, it never comes in your mind. Because if you're fully have that
the gratitude aspect comes within you from the whole aspect of your spiritual side. Since we are talking about crisis, I think it would be great if you could also share how your spiritual life has helped you kind of deal with this crisis or deal with your life in general.
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, spirituality is something that is already with everyone. It's a phase of learning how you want to look at your life as a life. I have been spending a lot of time in reading and watching and associating with a lot of people. So I don't know what's a clear English word that I can look for is a satsang that I mentioned. So my mom is always been telling me is Vivek and satsang. These are the two elements that you need to always have in your thing. And satsang has a very great deeper meaning. It is not a spiritual.
A lot of
satsang.
people feel satsang is only when you are like hearing to a discourse or a guru or a spiritual leader.
Correct.
So what is the definition of satsang for you?
It's basically how you keep your thoughts positive, how you keep your energy always live, and that is what the connection with you and your nature.
Correct.
Of course, body, soul, this is what connection. But I always relate to life and nature, and there is always a connection that you need to look for. You look for your true calling, and I'm sure we'll be able to understand where you stand and what's your purpose of life. So spirituality is all about comes, and satsang is a journey. How you are connected with yourself positively, it's all about satsang.
Correct.
Satsanga doesn't need a gathering. Satsanga doesn't need a kind of a spiritual interposition. Spirituality, a satsang basically means how you are talking to yourself.
Correct.
And that is what it means to me. And I'm glad that during this COVID.
So any special spiritual practices you follow on your day-to-day life? You were mentioning you meditate and all. So meditation for people is like, it's a cuckoo, you know.
Yeah.
It's not normal. If you're meditating, you're not normal. Or it's something you need to postpone for your, 80s and 90s. It's not something young people do.
Right.
So what practices do you follow and what would you like to say about that?
For me, this again two words actually which I implement. It's not that I want to just talk about it. Seva and sadhana. These are the two things that I always love and what I do. Because that gives me that spiritual connection or strength. And seva sadhana again need not to be in one direction. It can be whatever you do. Like in our business, we always follow CSR, the corporate social responsibility. It is nothing but in a true sense a spiritual.
Correct.
What you are giving back to society. So for me, an organization like a small organization like us, we don't fit into that bracket of CSR. But essentially, we can modulate our service in a such a way that we are giving back to society in the form of CSR. We don't have that 2% bracket of spending or getting that income tax benefit of CSR. But
Again,
for me,
it comes back to the intention.
Yeah.
You want to do CSR because you want tax benefit, or
Exactly.
you're doing it because you actually want to give to the society.
exactly.
That's
So
it.
we design our organization in such a way that your service itself is giving.
Correct.
Love, serve, and give. That is what we need to follow, and I'm sure this is applicable to every organization that you see around. And again, this is a COVID learning.
Correct. When you're working, smoking is just like a normal thing. If somebody wants to smoke, they'll just go ahead and smoke. They'll not be thinking about how somebody else is going to perceive me. So I'm also a meditator, and sometimes in between my work, I used to feel that I need to recharge myself. So instead of a coffee or a smoke, I would like to meditate. But I used to feel very embarrassed. Like if I sit and meditate here, close my eyes, do something, what will people around me think?
Yeah.
And one day I was in a mall, and it was some Ramzan or something was going on at that time, and I saw a guy praying in front of an elevator. I saw that, and there were so many people around, but he was not bothered. So that was a learning for me that if he can do it in midst of a mall because it's time to pray, then why should we feel embarrassed? So is it something that you have inspired your team as well to do on a regular basis?
Oh yeah, in fact, in our team,
manage their stress.
absolutely, in our team review call, I always have that slot available where I share and I inspire them to share as well whatever learnings are there. And indirectly, they may not have realized. So far till now, I'm talking to them now. They are getting that inspiration in the form of that connection that I talk about the spirituality through my working, through my
Your
teaching.
day-to-day.
Yes.
Like today also when we came here in the morning, we were quite surprised that our breakfast was already arranged. We're not usually very equipped with us getting so much pampered. But then I think this is something that you were mentioning about Seva. There's no other intention but to be nicer to people around you in the first place.
Absolutely.
So that is something great. The values and the core values that you've incorporated in your day-to-day life, in your office and your work. I'm going to come back to the same question again, putting back to the theme of profession, passion, and purpose. So we're going to come back to the purpose part of this. Success means different things to different people. For some people, having more wealth is success. For some people, having prestige in the society is success. What does success mean to you, and how do you connect it to your purpose?
Very good question. In fact, many people get trapped in this specific meaning as success, because most of the people, success means an achievement. Success means money. Success means wealth, and specifically in a entrepreneurial domain, most of the people always focus success means how do I make numbers. So I'm very clear, and I'm not actually trying to impress here in the community, but I want to emphasize or impress upon the things that I want to highlight here. The true success means definitely not numbers. So I'm clear what I don't follow. Success means basically you're in a profession of making a difference in somebody's life. So how can I make difference in my community where I'm working? Maybe it's my organization that I'm working, my team. How do I make difference in their lives? In my family, in my customer community, how can I impact their organization in a way that they can become more safe and secure? So for me, those are not number actually typically, but when any customers or any person that gets talk to me and say that thank you very much, Hemant sir, you were amazed. We got so much of insight, or our facility now is well protected based on your advices. That is my success. That customer testimony is my success. That feedback or that compliment when somebody gives me at the end of my interaction or transaction, whatever, is a success to me. So numbers is not something that it matters to me or it excites me. It follows. I know for sure money definitely is not an objective, it's an outcome for me.
This reminds me of the Three Indians wala dialogue. Beta, success के पीछे मत भागो, excellence के पीछे भागो.
Exactly.
Success झक मार के आपके पीछे आएगी.
Exactly. And exactly we have that excellence word also in our family to follow. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a journey, but I think we need to have that clarity and passion to follow.
Well, we are very confident and we wish you all the very best for your future endeavors. We're going to move forward and share a AV from your mom.
Wow.
She has something to say to you, so let's have a look at the AV.
Wow.
कंपनी म्हणजे याचा अर्थ सोबत असतो. कंपनी म्हणजे काही भिंती, दरवाजे, पडदे ही कंपनी नाही. जीवनातली कंपनी ही सोबतच असते. आणि आज तुमची जी कंपनी फाउंडेशन साजरं करताय ती कंपनी सुद्धा भिंती नाही, तुमची जी साथ आहे. तुमच्या याचं पण नाव त्यांनी दिलंय पूर्व. याचं नाव मराठीत काय असतं? पूर्व तृण म्हणजे काय? सुरुवात. आपण जेव्हा धान्य पेरतो जमिनीत, ते धान्य उगवलं किंवा त्याची धान्य समृद्धी होते, तशी तुमच्या कंपनीची सुद्धा समृद्धी होईल. नावही अप्रतिरक्त आहे. आता कंपनीचा मालक म्हणून मी सांगत नाही, कंपनीचा करता तुम्ही सगळेच करताय, तो एकच करता नाही, तुम्ही पण त्याला साथ देता. म्हणून कंपनी त्याला तुम्ही कंपनी देता, तुम्ही त्याला कंपनी देता, तो एकमेकाला कंपनी देता. म्हणजे साथ आहे एक प्रकारची. आणि ह्या साथीमध्ये ओघ असतो. साथ म्हणजे काय? ओघ. आपल्या कोणतीही महत्वाकांक्षा आपण ठेवली ती ओघाने वाहत असते. म्हणून कंपनी असं त्याला नाव देतो आपण. अजून पुन्हा सांगते मी, कंपनी म्हणजे दरवाजे खिडक्या नाही. कंपनी ही साथ असते. कंपनी ही महत्वाकांक्षा असते. कंपनी हा ओघ असतो, जीवनाचा ओघ. त्याच्यात आपल्याला प्रोग्रेस करायचा असतो, प्रगती करायची असते. आज तुम्ही छोट्याशा दालनामध्ये ऑफिस सुरू केलं होतं आणि छोट्याशा दालनातून तुम्हाला कितीतरी अडचणी झाल्या असतील, पण त्या दालनामध्ये तुम्ही खुश होते. त्या दालनामधून खुश होता होता परमेश्वराने तुम्हाला एवढं मोठं सुंदर ऑफिस दिलं. कारण काय? तुमच्या पाठीमागं ओढ होता. प्रगती होईल आपली. आज आपण याच्यातून पुढे निघू. नेहमी कोणीही कोणाला असं प्रगतीच्या वाटावर एकदम ठेवत नाही. परमेश्वराची एक इच्छा असते की हा त्या याच्यातून अडचणीतून कसा प्लीज होत असतो, कसा आवड निर्माण करतो, कसा आनंदित होईल, याच्यासाठी तो पहिल्यांदा सिच्युएशनच तसं करतो. त्या सिच्युएशन मध्ये आपण जर अत्यंत आनंदित राहिलो तर आपल्याला परमेश्वर भरपूर देत असतो.
I'm missing her today because had she been there, proud of what we are doing, how we are doing, but she's always there in the form of thoughts that she has given, the teaching that she had given, and she defined here what does our company means. You know, that is what she said. That company is not a wall. It's all about your culture. It's your people inside the organization. So for me, just to talk about my mom, she has been my eternal force, because in this challenging world, and that too in an entrepreneurial domain, it is very, very difficult for you to remain highly motivated, highly energetic, and you cannot be that. So there will be always ups and downs. So whenever I'm in down, high, low energy or sentiment or discouraged, she comes and tell me, okay, get up, man. You can't remain here. You have got to get up and stand up and do it. Because she has been a very, very strong person in our family, and I am really glad that her teachings actually made us today what we are or how we are. So thank you, Mom, wherever you are today. But it always been an inspiration for me to do more and better things than my yesterday. Because for me, I always compete yesterday. How can I make today better than yesterday? That is what my life is all about. And I think in everybody's life, the Mata and Pita's blessings makes a lot of difference. And I'm really fortunate to have those blessings with me always. So thank you for playing this video. It was lovely.
Coming back to the last question for the day, what are your future goals for the company?
Again, it's a vision that I have, and I can probably talk detail, but just to respect the time of everyone here, our vision is very, very clear where we want to go. And in one of our presentation or our slide that we have, by 2030 we want to make this a world-class company. There are many people on the lighter side. They said, "Even they have forget about world-class. They have to either
Even the scenario just exists.
It just exists." So always in an organization it's like a caterpillar stages, So we are in that stage of poo-poo, what you call third stage, from egg to poo-poo and then adult. So, or in a business environment, you can say always struggle is the first phase, survival is the second phase, scalability is the third phase, and then you become a system-driven company is the fourth phase, where you are not involved. The company is actually like a flywheel. So today we are in a third stage. I would say struggle and survival is over. We are in a stage where we want to scale up our business, scale up our opportunities, scale up our team, scale up our reach to the customer, and that is how we are in a stage. And by 2030, we will make it happen. And I'm very, very determined. I'm very, very clear about the vision and goal of this company that we want to bring in level, and we are already on a right mode or a right path where we want to go, and I'm sure the team is with me to take me to that level where we want to be, to make this organization a world-class organization by 2030. So that's what my vision, and it's not a statement. It needs a lot of steps, hard work, efforts, and I'm sure every day we are marching towards making this company a global company. So that's what my clear statement I would say, and hope Ineos actually conspires me to take to that level one day.
I'm sure it will. What message would you like to give to our audiences watching us today?
First of all, thank you so much for listening. That's what my first gratitude to all, with my hands folded. Thank you all my team for being here. It was a great experience even for getting this show organized. Shilpa, Tulika, Rahul, Vidya, Ritul, everybody was on toes to get this show done. And again, it's not a advertisement or marketing. It was all about our connections and commitment towards our community that we wanted to showcase. So I really thank you for all watchers here, my family, friends, customer community, associates, for spending their 90 minutes. I think your blessings in the form of are really going to inspire us, and it will motivate us to do better than yesterday. And I'm sure things are going to be busier than what we are today, because COVID is going to be just a history. So I think just stay focused, stay motivated, and everybody has a space to work on. That's what I want to talk about today in this forum.
Thank you so much, Hemant sir, for having this heart-to-heart conversation. I thoroughly enjoyed having this conversation with you, and I would like to wish you and your entire team all the very best. I'm sure with your passion, with your zeal, with your positivity, you're definitely going to achieve all the heights of success. And everybody watching us today must be very, very inspired hearing your life story. And with this, we come to the end of our event. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking out your precious time and being present here with us. Here's the information about our social connect. So if you have any direct questions, please post it here and we will ensure it is answered to you. Do like this YouTube video and share amongst community, and subscribe to our channel. You can join our group by clicking a link posted in chat or drop a mail to info@eastcorpgroup.com.
Great. So thank you so much again for being here. Have a nice weekend. Stay well.